Well, this is Beneath David from SNS Institutions. So, in the previous session, we understood what major business concepts are. We understood that the CSR is now. Let us trace into the journey over the years, like how many major business concepts the CSR uh, has involved and responsive to uh, change the models from the charity to the strategy. It has been a significant transformation. So, let us jump into the topic and look into it. So, the tracing the journey of the CSR over time. So, the CSR didn't start with frameworks or compilers. It begins with the goodwill. So, the wealthy business owners gives back to the society over the decades. The approach became more structured, aligned, as well as like with goals. So, it is the part which breaks down the phases of this evolution. They started as a charity, but it turned up into responsibilities where everybody, every company, every person, every individual is responsible for what is really happening into it. So the early 20th stages, so early stages. So in the early 1900s, CSR was mostly like philanthropy industries like Andrew and John, and it's and in India too. So Tata believed in giving back once they were successful. So they built school, hospitals, libraries, but it was voluntary, not the part of their business strategy. It was separate from the profit making. Yes, uh, they went through a lot of things. They have donated a lot of things. Tata is a person who gives more than a half of this profit to the charity to help people, to build hospitals, to build uh, schools, to build libraries. So that is CSR. That is how a company should take responsibility to satisfy the needs and the wants of the needy. Yes. Now, nearly by 1950s, thinkers begin to question if the business had a moral duty towards the society. So the Howard Bowen works in 1953 is often seems as a foundations of modern CSR. So he argued that the business have a responsibility towards society welfare beyond just making profits. So it introduced the idea of business ethics into it. So in early 1970 to 1980s, so the stakeholders theories and the border responsibilities. So moving into the 70s and 80s, the focus shifted from stakeholders, shareholders to stakeholders. So that includes customer, employee, suppliers, customers, employee, suppliers, and communities and environments. So the business begin to realizing that ignores these groups would harm their long-term sustainability. So this phase introduces the idea of balancing profit and responsibilities in it. So in 1990s, but the massive globalization, companies expanded rapidly, but so did scrutiny. But so did scrutiny, especially for issues like child labor, pollution, and unethical sourcings. This led to a growing demand for ethical trade and sustainable practices. CSR had to develop, involve the address global environment and labor concerns. So this period planted the seeds for sustainability. So in 2000 to present, today, CSR is not separate activity. It is the part of the core business strategy. Initiatives like UN Global Compact and ISO 26000 offers global CSR frameworks. So the most important CSR is now linked with the Sustainable Development Goals. So the company reports to the environmental and the social impact just like financials. So this is a big shift from just doing good to doing well by doing good. So yes, I hope you would have got some thoughts and ideas about the evolution of CSR. So thank you so much.